What's poppin' with the squad? How y'all doing? How y'all living? It's your boy Amauri. We are back with another one. And today, big homies, I just wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about this Dior album that was dropped, On to Better Things. And I'm not gonna lie, there are some hits here and there that I've enjoyed from Dior over the time that he's come out. But at the same time, I feel like I personally have just been waiting on him to do something a little bit different. At this point, it kind of feels like he's kind of rehashing that same old hit that blew him up in the first place. And that's not to say he doesn't do it well, but I, for one, wish for some diversity in this artist portfolio. So, without further ado, let's get into it. This is just my thoughts. Feel free to share your own. Feel free to disagree. Let's get into it. I just want to say that this album starts off on an okay note, but right away there's one glaring issue I have, and it sounds like it's been done before. It sounds like the release he just had. It sounds like the last radio hit that just popped. And that's not to say that it's not done well, and that's not to say that I don't like his past work, but it also sounds like everything else that's already out there. And that's not how you stand out, in my opinion. Almost like it would just blend into the background of whatever activity you're doing. It kind of almost, I don't want to say, took me a minute to come back to it, but it did take me a minute to remember that I needed to write a review for this one. And a lot of times that I was listening to it, it kind of just fell to the wayside for me. That's not to say that I think it's bad or anything, because I really do enjoy the production. I think the production is very solid. I think the content is okay. I don't think anything he's saying is necessarily just outlandishly foolish or just straight up stupid or anything. And in some of the tracks, even manages to sound genuine, sincere, and emotional with the way he's delivering some of his lines. But it kills me how almost every track leaves me wondering why I've heard this before. It's like, why does this sound so familiar? And if you're going through an artist's album and you're saying that same thing song after song, then there's obviously some sort of issue there that needs to be tackled. And and God rest his soul, but come on, like, just as an example, it feels like Dark Angel was straight up written by Juice WRLD. Like, I'm sorry, it feels like his work on this album is just straight up, what is my peers doing? What are other artists doing? How can I do that? And I'm not saying not to use those around you as motivation, but you got to differentiate yourself somehow. How is it that I'm able to listen through your album and one of, I think, the better tracks on it sounds like it was written by another artist that's passed away? That's my issue. Oblivious was somewhat different. It felt like it was a first track to actually differentiate itself from the rest of them. I kind of vibed with Regret. And overall, I guess I can say I didn't think it was that bad. Thought it was a really good one for me. I liked MGK's feature on it. I didn't necessarily enjoy the production, but it definitely was a standout song, one of the few standout songs on that album. And that's pretty much it. That's really all he did for me. Outside of his features, outside of the few songs that I named that I feel stood out a little bit from the rest of the pack, like I said, everything else just feels so extremely derivative of what's already out there. It feels like it's been done before. It sounds like it's been done before, and just not it for me. Just not the move for me. I'm sorry, Ian. Let's try again. But overall, I'd probably give this a soft 5, a 4 maybe, because overall the experience didn't leave me with the best taste in my mouth, but it also just did not make me want to come back and listen to this album again. It did not give me any replay value. Yes, there were a couple of songs I heard that were like, oh yeah, I could see this on the radio. But it's the radio. What do you expect? Yeah, not the biggest fan of this one. I'll hopefully, if I remember to, check out the next one and see if that's any different. But that's pretty much all it is for me. Would love to know how you guys feel, what you guys think. What are some of your favorite tracks? What are some of your least favorite tracks? How do y'all feel about the album as a whole overall? Drop down to the comments down below. Let me know. And I'll see y'all on the next one. I'm gone. But at the same time, there are tracks on here that one could say more than make up for the lack of replayability as a whole. So I'm really struggling to think where I could put this album, but I think a 7 is a good spot because I know he can do more. And like I said, there are just so many positives to this album that, in my opinion, just taking it all away because I wasn't a fan of how he formulated the album just doesn't seem fair. Would love to know what you guys think. If you guys really have a differing opinion, feel free to drop into the comments. I love to listen. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell as well. Stay up to date with the new we dropping daily. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm gone.